Welcome back to another episode of Disco Elysium. I'm World Undone. Thanks for joining me while things are really starting to kick off here. We are making some serious progress into the investigation. I was thrown off of the lady driver's trail for a bit. We now know her name is Ruby, or so she says. Now she's starting to look like suspect numero uno once more. So I might try to pretend I'm interested in renting a place from the old woman while secretly checking out her cottage, but I feel like there are other things I can do before coming to that. So there's a boardwalk here. Can we get into this building? See, that's what I'm talking about right there. There's gotta be a way in and up. Otherwise, why would that be a thing? We can't get over there. You know anything?
Good evening.
I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen anyone suspicious around?
No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Mikhail here.
He pats his son's head.
So you haven't seen anyone around?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
There's something friendly and familiar in how he says that. A day off.
Gotcha. Alright then. There's gotta be a way inside here, but I'm just not seeing it. Maybe it's something I can figure out by examining this mural.
You see, once a slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Looks like tomorrow never came.
Is there nothing else? Alright. I guess eventually... Oh, what's this? There's a slit in the concrete here. A sewer. Aha. I was thinking it was just about time for the sewer level to start coming up.
The light vanishes inside the concrete slit. The structure goes deep under the earth.
Let's yell ho.
There's no echo. And no answer.
What's in there?
Maybe it's just a storm drain for the sewer.
Kim, any idea what's down there?
No idea. Could be connected to one of the buildings around here.
Think we might find Ruby down there?
We might find her down somewhere. There's an old storm drain system beneath Martinez that's mostly collapsed. Reversal sewage system has been built and rebuilt 4 or 5 times now. In conclusion, she could be under any building.
But not in there?
I hope not.
Well, it's a lead. Shouldn't just be ignoring leads, should we, Kim? So what else is there? Oh, I got a skill point from clicking on it, and I guess that, oh, is the corpse still here? No, it was taken away.
There's some tear.
And I'll leave the tear there, just to keep his memory alive. Wait. Can I not move? No, I can't move. Past there. Anything else around here? Well, we never explored up here. We might as well take a look. Now seems as good a time as any. Like here. What's going on here?
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
What is this thing anyways?
It's military. A service depot of some sort.
Use the service what?
The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it.
Could this structure have been used to take the shot?
From here to the whirling, I can't see how. The church is in the way.
Interfacing. Probably isn't possible. Something to keep in mind. We can try that red check later. Well, let's see if the Insulindian phasmid is hanging around here.
Just dead and poor things.
Oh well. I think that particular side quest is ended. Cigarette butts cleaned away from a rock. Brand Teomotiri. Someone's made a campfire here a long time ago. Is that right? A rusted, broken control box for the radio relay tower. This ladder is too rusty to climb. The sea air has eaten away at it. Tiny inlets there, off in the far distance, where the posts trail toward. Ooh. Scented scarf, huh? Yeah, I got it. Alright, well, let's keep looking around here. Wait. The boardwalk rises here south. It casts this long shadow over you. Anything else over here? Not so far as I can see. Alright, let's keep running around. So where were the places that we should have checked? Check boardwalk, check island, and Land's End. What is Land's End? And island. What is that? Isn't this the boardwalk? I couldn't see anything that we were able to identify there. Well, let's keep looking through. Right, there's those guys. Oh, right. I think this was Land's End, wasn't it? Yeah, I think I'm right. Okay, might as well check out this trap while I'm here.
The trap is filled with dead, poor things.
Oh well. I'm a poor thing too.
A row of ghostly shades facing
Oh, this thing
the
again.
wall. With another 7 shades, a cold...
Alright. You. A door, a building, a hiding place. Could the instigator be inside? Well, it doesn't seem to give me the option to check it out. But we'll talk to the, more or less jerk anyways.
As you approach, he appears completely at...
Ah, super. It's the officer. I was not expecting to run into you again, but things have a funny way of turning out, no?
Hilarious.
What brings you down to the scenic Martinez coast?
Actually, I was wondering what you're doing out here.
Well, that's très simple. I was visiting the fishing village just north of here. They have applied for a series of microloans to revitalize the old market. And well, I wished to see the situation firsthand. And then, well, I had some extra time on my hands, so I decided to stroll down here. It's quite peaceful, isn't it?
You do know there was a max execution right over there.
Really? Here? How can you be sure?
It's sort of a gift I have. I can reconstruct things that happened in the past. High-end detective stuff.
Ah, a very useful gift for a police detective, I'm sure. Fascinating how much history is contained right here. If only one knows where to look for it.
You feel like there's something you could say here. If only you really knew what was going on.
Oh well.
I'm all ears, officer. Already leaving? À tout à l'heure, officer.
Alright, maybe I'll form a committee later. No, I don't know what I'm doing. I thought this was Land's End, but I guess I thought wrong. And I do remember seeing a Bowie around here. Boy? However you pronounce it. Curiouser and curiouser, as the saying goes. Yeah, you. I remember trying to click on you before, and it didn't work. So what's your deal? Looking back at you from the rust-colored water, you, despite everything, is still you. Okay, I don't think the buoy was around here, but I have thought wrong in the past. I think there's a check we can try with the cell.
Hello again.
Have you seen a red-haired woman around?
No,
Just no?
it's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast.
Teenagers skulking around. Gang members looking for a hole in the Union's defenses. Maybe Ruby too. But she wouldn't be able to tell from here.
Considering what you're trying to do here, this doesn't look like a good sign.
Superstition. We can turn the grim desolation into a fun dance club, and thus also help turn this hellhole around.
Your associates tried to use me to set up a drug lab. I'm guessing you knew of this plan.
I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth, which isn't much.
This is why I didn't go to the tent.
Typical delinquency.
You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk Andre out of it. I even tried not to lie to you.
Not very hard.
Indeed. She merely tried to omit the truth instead.
Instead, you opted to omit the truth. It's the same thing.
I know, but I knew you'd see through their plan too. I'm not an idiot. I should have been able to control them, and I will in the future. I promise. May I ask, what did you tell them?
Do what you will with your dance club plans, just no drug labs, please.
Thank you. I'll get them under wraps, I promise.
Alright, I'd like to know more about them.
My associates? I haven't got much to say about them.
Just answer the question.
Sorry. I just don't tell people about my... Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
Alright, well, might as well ask them. There's the boat.
Hi again. So, goodbye, officer.
Yeah, goodbye.
Huh?
You guys know any Ruby?
Large-head.
Good morning! Yeah! Pump it up! Pump it up! Pump it up!
Oh my god. Goodbye, Egghead. Or Egghead, as we now know. So, anything else over here? A Bowie, for example. No, I was already looking around here. I don't think there is one. Not here, at least. So, let's go to the map then. Oh, we can't fast travel for some reason. I would like to go back down to the shacks. If anybody knows what the reason is that I can sometimes fast travel and sometimes can't, let me know. I have a feeling it may be a very silly answer, like the answer being that the game is buggy, which I know for a fact it is. But you just gotta take your lumps sometimes with games like this. Games like these. How to properly pluralize. Oh, can we go over there? I guess not. And... any Bowies. Bowie. There's the jetty here. No Bowies to be seen. Alright, I think I'm going to explore a little bit more off camera. Wait, what's this? The ice just off the coast crackles, shifting. Not much. It's something. What's this? Someone has broken down the fence and the barbed wire. That's something to look into, I would say. Creepy. The swing is missing. No one's been here for a long time. Birds in the birch tree. Barely audible coos come from above. Someone has left their music collection beneath the tarpaulin. Karaoke! We've done it, lads! We've done it! Glory, says the graffito to the ghosts of us. What about you? Some tear. Nice. Is this some money? A little bit. And a little bit more. Alright, I think that's most of what is happening around here. Alright. I think we've finally done it. Let's take our tool out, the tape player, and interact with the smallest church in Saint Saul. The tape you found from a shack on the coast. The A side is the smallest church, while the B side is supposed to contain the instrumental version. Requires a boombox to play. Alright, perfect for karaoke.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader. You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing. It sounds like someone's moving in the room, getting comfortable. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune, echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in, telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad. Within seconds you know, this is the one. The real shit you've been looking for. The one you trust your room to. This one tells it like it is. This is your tune.
Beautiful.
A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning.
Could I sing this for karaoke? I think I could sing this.
Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And you already know the lyrics since you've listened to it like a million times. Yup, they're all here. All 3 verses.
Beautiful.
And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one obstacle stands on your way.
What is it?
Gart. You have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can express yourself. Let the pain out. Make everyone understand.
Okay.
The lieutenant looks at you as you remove the tape from the boombox. He doesn't say anything.
What am I listening to? Sing karaoke. Convince Gart. Come on, Gart. Remember I gave you that bird? Remember the bird? Those are fun times. Right, let's unequip this thing. Get our pry bar back in hand. And yeah, I'll start cutting out things again. Because I really kind of want to find this Bowie, and I've been doing it too long to put the whole thing on camera. So, I'll see you guys later. Oh? Is this it? Could this be the Bowie Classier told you about? Oh, I think it is.
A metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. At first, it just looks like trash. But if you look closer...
That over there must be the boy Class you told us about. The one she hid her passport in. We should take a look.
Let's pick it up.
You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. It's not tied to anything. The cords dangling from the bottom appear to have been cut.
Let's examine the plastic ball.
The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt. A latch holds it close, but only just barely. The brittle metal of the latch has cracked.
Simple construction. Very unsafe.
Let's shake it off.
There's something in there, splashing around.
Let's sniff it.
It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast. Salt, industrial slop, and decay.
Let's open it up.
A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out. Some algae, and nothing else.
That might not be good.
Well, damn.
We're lucky it's still here. A little longer, it wouldn't have floated away.
We still got here too late. There's nothing of use here anymore.
No documents. Who do you think took them?
I have no idea.
This is a minor quirk. We know it was in the buoy already.
Or think we do. This is a small loose end, either way. Not important, I hope.
It must have been Classier's enemies, which means she's in danger.
Could be. We should keep an eye out. Nothing more for us to do here. Let's go.
You could ask the miss what she thinks. Later, if you have the time. Though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point.
Well, let's try all the other options.
I have no idea. Or think that may very well be the case. We should keep an eye on her. Nothing more for us to do here. Let's go.
You could ask the miss what she...
I have no idea. Or think we do. In my experience, cryptids are generally...
You could ask the miss.
Alright, well, that was less, revealing than I hoped, but that's just how it is in this game sometimes. Might as well check the trap.
A few locusts, poor thing.
Right, so I'm having a lot of difficulty examining any of the locations that could have been used to make the shot. So I think it's about time. Oh, one more thing I can do is talk to Lillian, see if I found that spot on the coast yet that I needed to find in order to pass her check. I feel like there's one other thing I wanted to do while Kim was gone. I think it was talk to Joyce about something.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards.
No. No. Alright, so I'm gonna save here. I think it's time to do some duplicity. Let's get the tie out. Boom.
The policeman. Changed your mind, did you? I thought you might. Won't find a better deal than free. Don't make this old woman regret giving the police the key to her house. Here.
Okay, I'm off. Certainly not to look around and investigate your little house there.
The door has seen better days. The layer of paint has started to peel off due to the salt and wind from the sea. Even the lock looks slightly rusted.
Let's unlock the shack door with the key.
I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy to check out your new living arrangement and look for any signs of Ruby. But just so you know, after we are done with the day, I'll still be staying in the whirling in rags for the night. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
The key turns with a satisfying click. You can enter the shack now.
Might as well take the tear. Alright. Whoa. Lots of stuff to examine.
Good. You're up.
Oh, god damn it.
It's a suspend Earth every day.
This is really, really getting annoying. Whatever. You see the waves, the sea, a church. Old science fiction magazines, books about birdwatching, an almanac from 39. This intricate heat engine hums quietly, giving out pleasant warmth. The floorboards creak under your step. Sure, take that. What's this?
An old mirror hangs on the wall.
Oh, gotcha. That's fine. So, what about you?
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
Is shaving the right call?
The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red. Hair unkempt. Wrinkles lining the eyes and forehead. The stash is gigantic.
Nah, I'll leave the mutton chops there. Anything else? There's the bed, but I don't really want to fall asleep.
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others. The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched.
Let's move the board aside.
Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below.
What's in here?
Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea.
Search through the sand and sawdust.
You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then something hard wrapped in paper.
What is it?
A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet. A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber. Like your own Villiers pistol, for example.
This bullet isn't for a breech loader like the murder weapon.
The floorboard isn't interested. Maybe the washerwoman is. You have enough to confront her with. Holding the bullet, you get the feeling this isn't ammunition against you. It's for herself.
Gotcha.
Good. It's an earth every
Just
day.
wanted to check. I'll examine the bed. I don't even think I can go to bed right now, but I'll see if I
The
can.
bed is comforting.
No time to rest yet. Okay. Alright, I'll ask her about it. Kim? Let's keep rolling. Do a quick save here.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Why was there a bullet under the floorboards of your shack?
Damn that girl.
A bullet?
The lieutenant turns to you and gives you a little nod, then turns to the washerwoman.
You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either.
You rented the room to her?
Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl.
She speaks slowly, wringing out a rag after a long silence. Her hands move into the water bucket. Some water sloshes over the edge. Says Ruby's a little suicidal, from what I can tell, just from what Tommy Laham said and what this washerwoman says.
As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
When was this?
She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
She seems genuinely worried about her previous tenant. She's seen her hiding out from trouble before. But this seems different.
Is it because of me?
That's for the police to find out. Right then. Please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
He said she left on Monday.
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Kim, she must have heard your kinema.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you're gone.
He's in love with his car. Is the room exactly as she left it?
I cleaned it, like I always do.
Oh, was there anything else there?
No,
That you cleaned?
The truth, sire.
I don't know so much drama. What is she like, Ruby?
she's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself.
What do you mean?
She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
Why do you think she left the bullet there?
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
I have a possible explanation in my mind.
Aye. Do tell.
A seagull flies overhead, obviously a bad omen. It's an exit plan.
Exit from what?
The world.
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman.
No, she's a fighter.
She really believes that.
Oh, they often do. Did she have any technical equipment with her, like radio stuff?
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieux she'd made.
She brushes her forehead with the back of her hand. Water drips to the ground.
Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that.
She may simply have kept the equipment elsewhere.
Okay. Where did she go?
I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, man. We are persistent.
Are you sure she didn't go somewhere more pleasant and less wet?
Yes, it's going to be too much work for you to find her. Better for you to stay here, get a nice cozy fire going in the heater.
Don't think I can do that, ma'am.
The felled electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
Yeah, I tried. I had a few more questions.
What more do you want to know about that poor? Yes.
All right, I'm off.
One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her.
She looks around. The air is getting colder.
She really means it. It's an honest plea.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
Well, I'll see what I can do. Alright, felled electrical. Let's see what we can do with that as well. Actually, I have to check something technical for a moment. Pardon me. Okay, yeah. Sometimes I forget. I split up my recordings into different sections. Sometimes I forget if I've started recording the first or second section. So, oh god, we gotta go all the way around. Wait, felled electrical. Here it is. Oh, and they're gone. Interesting.
You see, a slogan used to intertwine above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
Could Ruby be in there?
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there, or in that boat shack, in that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building?
Shivers. We have some stuff to deal with Shivers, and I will do it up off camera. Alright, we're back. Look at this fantastic outfit we've picked out for ourselves.
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, "Fell, even though you're
Nice.
sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb."
What was I even attempting to do here?
Trying to talk to the wind, the city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. And now you're just standing there, in the dusk hour, with your hands fallen to your side.
God, this was a success?
Is trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it in your secret repertoire? A trick for when you're out of ideas?
Sounds like a pretty good trick. She could be anywhere. How do we find her?
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid island, so we have an understanding of the geography, at least. And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village.
And if that fails, if we don't find her?
Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
He looks behind him at the dark red box crumbling across the chasm.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the windswept urban coast.
Let's listen to the wind again.
Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through it.
Where does it go?
In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk. Its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
What is happening?
She's down there.
Ooh, creepy. I don't know if you guys are using headphones, but I sure am. I think she's down there, below this building.
Okay. Why?
Ever since I woke up, maybe even before, I've been getting these strange cold spells.
Good. Yes. Cold spells. So basically your hangover is telling you she's down there?
Look, the wind told me.
So, how do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
Finally, my time to shine.
There's a ladder next to the sign. Perhaps we can climb it, enter through the roof?
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
Yeah, that's a, tough ask there.
A rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
Let's assess the situation.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem corroded and the peeling rust is razor sharp. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground? And you're 180?
180 seems about right.
Not to mention that the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to not climb the ladder. Instead, what if you were to do something more subtle?
Subtle?
Astral projection. Be open-minded about this.
Alright, Kim. Hear me out. What if I don't climb? What if I just teleport?
Teleportation is not a thing.
Teleportation is a thing. Just needs a bit of concentration.
Okay, let's say teleportation is a thing. Wouldn't you need some kind of scientific apparatus to create a teleportation field? You can't just do it without apparatus.
Yeah, won't hurt to try.
Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
He is restraining himself from using a parental tone with you right now.
Alright, I'm not ready to do this yet. But if I change my clothes, I'll have a better shot. So I've already got the track pants on. I'll see you guys soon. And we are back. I think we should have a 97% chance now.
The rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. All you need
Beautiful.
to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need to is...
Do it.
Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle. It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear, your atoms fading out of existence.
Okay, well, that's impressive, but...
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
What on earth did I just do? I did it, Kim. I teleported.
I just saw you climb the ladder. You just climbed it, like a regular person.
I teleported, Kim.
No, not like a regular person. Like a phased spider. The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly you hear.
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring with a backup, especially if we think the suspect may be hiding here.
Okay, well, let's look around. The central support beam has been destroyed by artillery fire. Alright. Anything else? Nothing I can see. Alright. Definitely need to save here. The glass is covered with grime and dust. You can barely see out. It might be good to equip some protective gear here. Sure, that'll work. Okay. What a good idea. Here it is. Might not be a bad idea to take out my gun either, but... Antiquated office furniture. Last century, maybe. Brought down and forgotten so long ago. This collapse nearly sealed the basement. One can barely squeeze by. This overturned table is covered in orange mildew, crawling with something. Old file folders in the cart. Documents silvery with mold. Ugh. A series of thick, dusty panes of glass. More suggestion. Take that. God, this place is kind of... Oh, creepy. Hey, Kim.
2 rusty metal plates that slide apart form a crude door. It's been here under the boardwalk for a while.
Who's there?
What do you mean, who's there? It's me, Kim. Stop playing around and help me get the door open.
You got it, bro.
The doors seem to be on rails, but they've gotten jammed. You grab a side and put some strength into prying it open. With the help of your partner, the 2 metal panels slide open with a creak.
Huh. I hope no one dangerous heard that.
How did you even get there?
After you climbed up to the roof, you mean? There's a maintenance entrance under the boardwalk. It's next to a drain pipe, possibly a storm drain. It was easy to miss before.
He's quite proud of himself.
Could have saved me the effort.
At least now we have an exit, so let's get going. It's time to investigate these passages.
That's fair. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is an exit. Handy. That was our way back up, I'm pretty sure. Alright. Is anyone else creeped out?
This isn't just glass. These are old computation components.
Computer components?
Yes, filament memories. From the time when wires were cast in glass, slides with an inlaid nervous system.
How'd they do that, and why?
The how was a closely guarded secret. Something that was locked in safes in human heads across the river where they were manufactured. As to why, your fingers don't know.
Man, look at all the skill points. Hey, Kim, look. Old cybernetics.
So it is. I think these used to form a single system, slotted in the wall.
So, this is all that remains of field R&D.
The rest of the building seems to have been picked clean.
Could this be part of the Feld playback experiment?
These? No. These are old filament memories. I hope you're not expecting to find that device here. You will be disappointed.
All you'll find here is pain.
I'm used to pain. Right. Well, let's head over here then. Oh, over here first. Ooh. In the beam of the flashlight, a crevice in the wall. Stale fabric smell and dust. No one slept here in months, maybe years. Okay, so that's probably a good thing. Let's take a look around. I thought this might have been me for a second. I still think it might be. These pots and plates are full of dust and spider webs. Revolutionary propaganda on the bunk bed. Ancient flyers and brochures. Gotcha. So this is, Mazov, probably. The same slit window you saw from the outside. Is that right? Thank you. Oh, wait.
Could this have been the killer's hideout? And this narrow window, the point of origin of the shot that killed the mercenary?
Oh.
In the darkness, you can barely make out the falling snow. It settles, making the night still quieter.
Sorry, could the killer have used this as a hideout?
It's a great place to hide, certainly. but there hasn't been anyone here in ages.
I can't see the whirling in rags. The shot didn't come from here.
Indeed. No one could get a clear view. Well, at least we've been thorough. I like thorough.
Me too.
The lieutenant's voice betrays a slight disappointment, which he glosses over by reasserting control.
Fair enough.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. The plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spiderweb in the lower left corner of the portrait.
Let's brush the dust.
Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly.
This Krasmazov. What a troublemaker he was.
Yes. Looks like some latter-day radicals were hiding out here. They left a long time ago.
A long time ago. How long?
Half a century?
Oh.
This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing.
So yeah, the revolution.
I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted.
What's with all these secret weapons caches and secret bunkers?
We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers.
Good hiding place for someone who's up to no good.
Maybe I should move in here. Seems cozy.
I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case.
Could this be connected to the Mazov bust we found in the student's room?
Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths always go for this kind of stuff.
Could someone have stopped through here recently?
You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
Alright, let's go. Yeah, all evidence does seem to point to that. Okay. So we've checked the boardwalk. Quick save. Boot prints in the sand. One of the soles appear more worn than the other. Instead of the bag, why don't I take out the gun?
Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying. It's like an extension of your arm, the polished wooden handle almost fusing into your palm.
I think my hand recognizes it.
It reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect, hoping you don't have to use it in vain. The sun was out in Jamrock. It was so long ago. Sheathe your sidearm, officer. A serious law official, cop by the book, should know to only unholster their service weapon when using it is unavoidable.
Okay, well, you got me there. We'll keep collecting tear. But she was here. Somewhere. Oh, what's... There's something in the air, an unnatural buzzing. The tunnel collapsed. You'll have to find another way around. Doesn't seem impossible. I don't think this game goes for the jump scares. I'm still a little, creeped out. It's getting louder. The buzzing sound. So it is.
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost smell.
Lieutenant, do you feel something?
No. What do you mean?
A pain, a strange tingling.
I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh.
Hold on, you really don't feel anything?
No, but you are the sensitive one.
Fair enough.
He trusts your gut feeling on this.
Nice, I saw them too. Footprints with the right sole worn smooth.
Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next step carefully.
What do you mean?
Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events we have no control over.
You will upset the balance of power in Martinez. The deadlock between the company and the Union will destabilize. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
We found out about Everett's plan to take the harbor. Maybe we should tell Joyce about it. We already did, I thought.
I leave that to your judgment. You already know what I think about cross-pollinating information like this. It's dangerous, but...
He just can't be sure. Maybe it will yield something useful.
We know what Joyce knows about the murder, but I may have other things to discuss with her.
Yes. There won't be time for that once things go down. Matter of fact, I don't think there's time for it now, but...
If you must.
I suddenly remembered. We were running the serial number on the victim's armor.
You think we should finish running it now? Maybe you're right. It might not be as useful later.
It's a minor point. Don't worry too much about this. There are bigger fish.
We've checked the buoy with Classier's documents. I want to hear her take on why it was empty before. Oh, is this like the final showdown and the game is wanting me to tie up all loose ends before doing it? We've checked the buoy with Classier's documents. I want to hear her take on why it was empty before.
Okay, why not? Whatever goes down might also affect her. The Union is watching her closely now.
Not closely enough, you suspect. But still, good idea to visit her once more.
How bad do you think things could get?
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
He smiles in the dark.
If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
What do you think is waiting for us there?
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise.
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back.
I understand. Okay, I get what the... Enter the cavern below the Fell building when you're ready. Note, Union and cryptozoology business might end when you do. I've finished all the cryptozoology stuff. The Union stuff, I don't know if it's ever done. But I'm getting the hint that the game is telling me. This is endgame stuff. This is when you are finished with the story, this is where you go. Which is good to know. It's very nice of them to tell me that. And there's also Joyce. The game told me to talk to Joyce twice. So, about two separate things. I think Joyce is over this way. In the fishing village. And I've almost finished, finally, the thought. It's getting close, I can feel it. The 20-hour thought. Alright.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Oh?
Man, this whole thing is a takeover.
Is what you're about to say when a cold streak runs through your heart. Once said, there is no going back, Harry. Yes. What if something happens to her and you've left one question unasked? Sneaky little question escapes your eye.
Of course, Detective. You can always drop by later. More lessons in basic reality. My
Okay.
favorite part of the day. Go ahead.
Good idea. Just ask him. He won't make a scene.
Kim, can I talk to the man alone for a second?
Fine.
See? What can he do? You're a grown man.
Now, what is the Pale?
Are you sure you're sure? Your colleague seemed adamant.
Yes, what's the Pale?
Okay. The Pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass.
Wait, and what is an Isola?
Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the Pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Mundi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde.
And Insulinde is...
An oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear.
Okay, what is a Pale like?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The Pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
Is it here?
No, Detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isla.
As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach.
6,000 kilometers from the end of the world?
Yes. That is enough. Many cities are built much closer.
And there?
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the pale is called Porch Collapse.
Porch collapse.
Imagine a grey coronal mist. Cold vapor, marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. A mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
Cool. What are its physical qualities?
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic.
Sounds kind of paranatural.
The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension, right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
Boy, this is creepy. This alternate universe that they've created is... I don't know, they're fantastic at lore building, I must say, with this game. 3D animation... Well, they're great at lore building. If we're surrounded by Pale, how do you get from Isla to Isla?
Oh, it is so difficult for us.
A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbor. Firm. Self-evident.
It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost, or having our minds damaged.
The Pale can damage the mind?
Extensively.
How?
Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter.
Ooh, cool.
They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
What does this over-radiation feel like?
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of Pale exposure per year.
Interesting.
It's more for her. Way more.
You're not a civilian passenger.
No, Lieutenant Dubois. I'm entreprenetic business class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of Pale transit annually.
Perhaps that explains her strange pining after the revolution. Some degraded early memories. Someone else you've met may have been exposed as well. The strange grey-haired woman in her lorry.
Do lorry drivers pass the Pale?
Yes. Carried in the hulls of airships. It's a horrific job. Automation will abolish it soon.
You should ask the Pale driver about this. See what she
Ah.
says.
She goes where no one else will.
That poor woman must have stories to tell, like you wouldn't imagine.
Are you over-radiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
I like Joyce. What is entropinetic?
Entreprenetics is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of Grad. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
Did they cross it? The Western Plain?
There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
What has entroponetics changed then?
Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later.
Aerostatic craft.
Hybrid airships, Detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near pale to far pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end, if we throw them precisely.
Oh, I'm trying to absorb all this. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity. And if we don't throw them precisely?
Then they don't.
Terrifying answer. Have a day. How much pale is there compared to the world?
The pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping.
Slipping how? To our detriment, or?
What do you think, Detective?
It's growing. There is more and more of the pale.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate.
That's not good.
An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
Cover everything? That can't be. Where would we go?
Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same.
Good advice.
Off we go. You see the hanged man's mouth open.
Off we go into the wild pale yonder.
One and all. They say pale is death, but for the universe.
Why should we just leave, and the world get left behind?
Let's return to reality. That was a very interesting conversation. I did not have any idea at all that the world was like this.
Yes, sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective, is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
I'm getting a sense of who I am, but no, I didn't know this.
Beyond curious. Tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
Let's see. I don't know how you've all survived with it. It's a huge accomplishment. Her eyes tense. Crow's feet radiate from them. She observes you, your bloodshot eyes and swollen face.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
This investigation will be my masterpiece. The one they remember me by. I promise.
I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent. In the meanwhile...
Some of that assurance is meant for herself, as much as it's meant for you. She must have a lot on the line here.
You have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
She gives you a slight bow.
Good. You have not passed out from it. Perhaps I worried for nothing. Are we still on the reality lowdown, or should we do actual police work now?
That was fucking insane, Kim.
Yes, well, the rest of us have dealt with it for thousands of years, so...
He looks around a little uncomfortable now.
You will have to deal with it, too, the lieutenant thinks. This is why I didn't want you to know.
Right. Let's get to work, Lieutenant.
Good luck, detectives.
She nods you goodbye. Terrifying. Okay. So, that's one thing to do. So who do we need to talk to still? Oh, how's the thought going? Okay, we've got half an hour left to go before the thought finally ends. So we were supposed to, the game recommended that we talk to Classier about, something. We can talk to her by ourselves as well. Figurines. Oh, the number on the victim's armor. We should do that. Still, I was wondering if it was just never going to happen.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Actually, that's all for now. I gotta do a quick save here. I don't think this is gonna be a horrible thing,
You're
but...
back. Good. What can I help you with? Oh?
Ma'am, this whole thing is a takeover.
A takeover?
Yes, it's not a strike. You aren't being let in because there's nothing to negotiate. The Union is taking the terminal.
If they're taking it...
She looks... She looks toward the colorful mountain of crates like toy blocks rising above Martinez.
Green livery, changing into red, blot by blot.
Creepy.
Then we're talking about a war. Everard needs to let me into the harbor at once. We need to talk about this.
The war is their goal. I told you before, Everard has always wanted this to escalate.
An insane goal. Cronell has 1,000 men on their payroll. The next batch will be a platoon of 20 men and a gunship. The one after that, 100.
I've seen the Union's forces. They are better organized than these mercenaries. They also have the support of the people of Revachol West. It will take more than Cronell to wipe them out. Wild Pines will need to send more and better equipped men. Make no mistake, ma'am. I am sure you have the money. The question is, how many years and how many lives are you willing to sacrifice?
What do you suggest I do?
First, will this affect your decision-making process?
Everything affects the decision-making process, Detective.
Officer?
The look on the lieutenant's face conveys uncertainty. He doesn't even sound angry.
For once, I don't seem to know what the right thing to do is.
I wish there was the disco option. Very, very true. The workers should have the harbor.
Do you think it's within my authority to give it to them? Do you think I can control the board and the shell-shocked mercenaries they've sent?
It is. It is well within her authority. It's been clear for some time that this woman is more than she lets on.
So, what are you gonna do?
What will I do?
She says, slowly looking around.
Did I ever tell you how they discovered this Isola? During our reality lowdown?
You said you would. One day.
It may be the only break we've ever caught as a species. The last one for 400 years.
Why?
The nations who colonized this Isola called theirs Muindi, the world. It was all they knew, all they thought would be. That there would be something more was a gamble, akin to another world, or life after death. The Pale was thought to be impregnable, perpetual. Irene la Navigateur, the Queen of Suren, sent 8 expeditions, one after the other, into the mass at the edge of the world. 5 of the crews did not return. 2 did, but had lost their minds.
8? Is that a normal number?
It was anything but normal. There was no precedent. People thought she was punishing the admirals, or had gone mad, or both. Until after years of trial and error, and the development of a strict psychological regime imitating the creation process of poetry.
Poetry.
The 8th expedition returned sane and intact. They told of a new continent of matter. They told the Queen and her counselor, Dolores Day, that the Pale had begun to condense, day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute, slowly raining down until it formed a vast ocean.
The air is cold and scented with petrichor.
This ocean?
The phenomenon has never again been encountered. For a time, the crew thought they were experiencing a hallucination. The mass hand proclaimed, "Lancielinde, Lancielinde," the signal to wake up. But they could not. They were sane and conscious, as islands began to appear on the horizon. There are 78,000 uninhabited islands in the Insulindian archipelago, officer. The freckled face of God.
78,000? That is not a small number.
Après la vie, la mort. Après la mort, la vie encore. Après la mort, le gris. Après la gris, le monde encore.
Alright, so this was translated for me. After life, death. After death, life again? I thought it was La Vie Neuve something. Après le monde, le gris. I don't know.
After life, death.
Oh, the Pale.
After death, life again. After the Isola, the Pale. After the Pale, Isola again.
On the second day, A great skua was shot down above the flagship Elysium. The bird was preserved and brought back, along with pollen.
She looks to the sky, then back at you.
4 years later, the Queen's Counsellor was proclaimed her Innocence Dolores Day, the elected world spirit. The age of humanism, internationalism, and parliamentary rule followed. We were high.
Leaving us here.
On Caillou. The Pebble. The largest of the fertile, uninhabited islands of the northeast Insulindian archipelago. 4 centuries and 2 revolutions later.
2 revolutions, huh? The great skua was the first bird they saw?
The first living, autonomous organism. Proof of reality. It's the symbol of Insulinde, detective. The coat of arms of the suzerain and the wings on the crest of the commune.
And this was the last break we got.
The nations of Mundi proceeded to discover 5 more Isolae. Or they discovered us. All in the rush of the great inter-Islary reconnection. But these others weren't uninhabited. We had to kill people there. Wipe out indigenous populations. Gunboat economies. Or they came to do the same for us. Or had done to each other. But here, there was no one but the skua, the Liliat Sea, and the Blood Beach, and the River Esperance. It was the new world. The Mondials used it to amass the greatest concentration of wealth mankind has ever seen. Revachol, the suzerain.
What happened?
Revolution. Poverty. And the mercurial rise of capitalism.
It's raining.
It is. Soon it will be spring and everything will blossom.
The gangs will run wild, jacking motor carriages, ferrying amphetamines through Coal City. Spring is tough in Revachol.
Alright. This has been enlightening and romantic. But what will you do, Joyce?
I will take your advice, Lieutenant Chiafreta. I will surrender Terminal B to the Union.
I thought you didn't have the authority.
She puts her hand in the rain. She's silent for a second.
We will see.
Ma'am, this may well unravel property law this side of the river. If that occurs, we may never see the end of this kind of confrontation. The next time there will be 2 strikes, then 4, then 100.
What happens will happen.
She takes the end in her rain-slick hand and starts untying the knot.
The age of capital has only begun. I will talk to my employers in person. We will amputate and cauterize Martinez. If you handle the situation on the ground.
You're going now?
Yes, Mr. Clare has a 2-month head start. I can't let it grow any bigger. And I've exhausted all my options from here.
We? She generally avoids that term with her employers.
There are no employers. She's a member of the board. Probably a partner.
You are the Wild Pines. There are no employers.
You are the citizens' militia. There are no superiors.
What? Of course I have superiors.
That's right, Detective. And next time, you should confer with them before you go setting events in motion.
Yeah, whatever.
Despite his words, he's not really sure whether to be annoyed with you or not. Events are already in motion. Whether your actions accelerated or momentarily retarded their progress, even the lieutenant cannot really say.
Even after all this time, I don't really understand who you are or what your angle is.
I have not deceived you. I told you exactly who I was. Rejoice Layton.
Rejoice, huh? Understood.
Keep the peace, and I will keep my end of the bargain.
How far along is Cronell's investigation?
A confrontation is imminent. They have followed in your footsteps. As your investigation reaches a climax, so does theirs. They are your shadow. Arm yourselves. Armor yourselves. Protect their targets. Violence may be unavoidable, but we can limit the casualties.
When will they make their move? Where?
Soon. I do not know precisely. They have cut off all communication, you see. They know I've been feeding you information. One last thing, Lieutenant Dubois. I've given the matter much thought and come to this conclusion. You're not an amnesiac. You're insane. I know, because I, too, am insane. I just hide my illness better. And I'm rich.
Isn't everyone a little insane?
No, Detective. No one's as insane as you.
Fair enough.
Don't worry, madame. I am very sane.
You're overradiated.
I'm overexposed, baby. My travels take me through the Pale dozens of times a year. I've got the longing. And I've got it bad.
She points to her heart.
She would die to return to it.
Ooh.
The Pale. The past. Anything one can return to.
Well, one more question. How do you keep your shit together?
The same strict psychological regimen the 8th Admiral developed when he crossed the Pale and discovered this Isola. The Volta Domar. It's used by inter-Easlary travelers and other troubled souls, even to this day.
You could use a little of it yourself.
Goodbye, Rejoice Layton.
Watch out for yourselves. They will strike soon.
Alright.
The lieutenant watches her boat grow smaller on the bay, its white sails fluttering.
I don't know if that was the right solution to the strike deadlock, but it seemed to make a lot of sense to me. I really thought that she did not have a chance going up against the citizens of Martinez. Everett made a fantastic point. Nobody likes foreign mercenaries. I certainly don't, especially from what I've heard from them. The people will just band together and fight and fight and fight until there's nothing left to pick up from. You know, it's just, yeah, sure, you won back Martinez, but it's a ghost town now. Yeah, whatever. Just my thoughts.
With worry in his eyes, he does not know if it was the right thing to do, but he doesn't say anything. You wonder what Everard has to say about this. Slowly, the sails turn grey-blue as more oxygen gets between you.
Alright, well, goodbye, Joyce. I'll always remember the time that we had. Okay. Oh, we've got 1 minute remaining here. Alright, so who do we spend... how do we spend this 1 minute? Anyways. We'll quick save. And we will fast travel. To talk to Alice, I think would be a good idea. God, these clothes are kind of crazy. Yeah, let's put on the intersolary dress shirt. I thought we were going to have to really kick up the violence here. Not so, though. Not so. And what does this give me? Any glasses that have no negative impact? Doesn't look like it. Might as well keep these on then. I will unequip my flashlight though. Alright, so let's fast travel. Right, that's exactly what I was planning on doing before. Travel here. Right, so who do we talk to first? Alice.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out tool.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist? Yes. It took some
Finally.
convincing, but I got the mercenary's name and a few biographical details. Are you ready?
I am.
The lieutenant leans in
There it
to
is.
listen, notebook in hand.
I was born ready, baby.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Cortenaer. That's E-L-L-I-S K-O-R-T-E-N-A-I-R. Exact date of birth, unknown. He was signed into the Lelystad County Neonatal Care Unit on 28th of February, 09.
Okay, a couple of things there. That isn't Lily. That's Cordy. Cordy is the guy by the gates. That's odd. Neonatal care unit?
He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2.
According to Klasia, Lele said his real name wasn't really his. Perhaps that's because he was fostered.
This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the East Brand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the Oranese forces till he was honorably discharged in 41, just a year before the Seminese conflict. Then the armor followed him to Seminine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Revachol.
Wait, he was found in a leaf compactor?
It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had, the only detail in these files. So I thought it would be good for you to know.
Thank you, Alice.
It is. Thank you, Alice.
Any information on his foster parents?
None, officer. Sorry.
So, all we have to connect him to Crenel is the armor.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you, Alice. Great work.
No problem, Lieutenant.
Hey.
A compliment from Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Not bad.
Yeah, you too will become addicted to these compliments. Well, we have his name and service record now.
A name. This is very good. Elise Cortenard.
He says to himself.
Sometimes police work is about human dignity, about giving back names to anonymous victims.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions?
Not
57?
yet.
In the cabin,
Here it is, after 20 hours.
wasteland of reality. Congrats, you're sober. It will take a while for your body to remember how to metabolize anything that isn't sugar from alcohol. So you're going to be pretty ravenous soon. Eat plenty. You can expect your coordination and balance to improve in a couple of weeks. In 2 months, you might start sleeping like a normal person. Full recovery will take years though. It'll be depressing, and it'll be boring. Don't expect any further rewards or hand claps. This is how normal people are all the time.
Yep, that's, boy, I lost like 40 pounds in like a few months once I got sober, and I wasn't even like working out or anything. It was shocking how much weight I gained just by drinking all the time. And yeah, full recovery does take years. The worst of it passed after a year. Anyway, what are my bonuses? Wait a second. -1 physical instrument, -1 inland empire, -1 suggestion, +1 psych. Oh, is that... Okay. Well, that's not great. That's really not great. +1 psych. Okay. So we've got psych overall is larger. I suppose that's handy enough. Okay. So let's take a look at these thoughts. Anything that I can just get rid of. All learning caps raised to 3. Not bad. Not bad. Wait, motorics learning caps. Yeah, I can forget this one. Boom. Alright, so what do we learn? Apricot, chewing gum, scented one. Uh-oh, my ex-wife. Oh god, I gotta read this one out. You can see it so clearly. In a dark alley behind a Boîte de Nuit, a young couple is having sex in a shopping cart. Their eyes are bloodshot and their brains fried. They are in the throes of narcomania. On the top floor of an office building, a young exec takes a drag from a short spliff and his eyes roll into the back of his skull. He too is a narcomaniac. Someone needs to take a stand. The world needs a narc. The world needs you. Don't worry, you can still drink and smoke. Those aren't real drugs. Right. Your face looks like it's 58 and your body feels like it's 60. Your mind feels like it's lived for 1 day or 100. Both longer than they ought to be, the day and the century. But for how long, then, has this thing attached to your sentience walked the planet's crust? Time to start racking those brains of yours, Elder One. When and where were you born? Let's see. God, suddenly there's all this Italian poetry in my thoughts. The Insulinden Miracle. Let's internalize a Jamrock shuffle. Nothing wrong with that. And God, I was hoping my physical instrument would go back to normal, not be reduced by the thought, but I hope a lot of things that don't actually come true. So let's take a look. Bring this out, and I'll fix up so I have more physical instrument, if possible. Oop, there's a start already. Alright, that's about as much as we can do, so let's try it.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Wait, I forgot one more thing. This is important. Take that off.
This orange machine
there we
is
go.
Dead still. It ice squeezes beneath your Kavalzun multi-tool, but your fingers slip away from the tool. The lid shutters tightly as before, and it's already unplugged. There's not much else to do other than wait for it to defrost or bulk up and get stronger.
Well, I don't have all these skill points for nothing. Yeah, I got it.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand ice grown.
There we go!
Giant Kavalzun
there we go.
Until the lid cracks open. Darkness lies inside, but you can faintly make out an object, intricate and foreign, left there for a sub-zero beauty sleep, a filament memory with the words "off-site copy" written on its side.
Let's take it.
You gently lift the cube from its frosty bedding, careful not to damage it.
We should take it back to Miss Lucan and kill her as soon as possible. I'm not sure how well unused filaments tolerate room temperatures.
Alright.
But aren't you curious to know what's on the precious filament? There's a radio computer upstairs.
I am curious. I'm very curious. Alright, well, let me put a shirt back on. Somewhere. Yeah, something like this. Everything else here, pardon me, seems fine. And I admit, I want to see what's going on with the thing there. God, I forgot how dark this place was. Okay, don't need to hold that tool anymore. Okay, here it is. Fantastic. And I think I'll inspect the filament in the next episode. I think we are finally nearing the end of this this journey. Gosh, I don't even know what to say about it. But yeah, we're nearing the end. And one day we'll be able to say that we have finished the main story, at least once. At least I certainly hope so. Either way, thanks for joining me on this journey. I'm World Undone, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.